Hello there, good afternoon, Dober Dan. Welcome to the Montenegro River, running through the capital city of Podgorica in Montenegro. Montenegro, one of the smaller countries in all of Europe. It was until 2006 actually part of Serbia, and then Montenegro gained their independence less than 20 years ago. Podgorica itself has about 150,000 people that call it home, but down here on the Montenegro River, you have a little beach area that you can bring your puppy or your towel, go swimming, lay out on the pebbles or a little bit of a sandy spot there. Looks like some chairs also, and they've got a little riverside cafe that you can have a coffee, Coke, or a cocktail. And kind of interesting here, all along this river are these ramparts that date back centuries that are now pathways that you can take in and out of the city through the parks. Matter of fact, where I just started, I came down that set of stairs there, but you could also turn right coming down and then go back that direction underneath the bridge ahead of us, and that'll take you back to a nice forested park. Across there is the Hotel Podgorica with a lovely dining area out on the back of the hotel overlooking the river. Alright, good afternoon from Podgorica. We'll go explore and maybe get a little bit of a nighttime vibe here. It is a happening city here in the early autumn. Came back across the bridge towards the city center side, although I never really crossed the river. Just on the, I guess it would have been the western side of the bridge, now back over on the other eastern side, or north or south or whatever the hell it is. But anyway, this is one of the many parks that are scattered amongst the square kilometers of Podgorica. The city center itself is just maybe a 5-minute walk to get up to the square. But this park runs along the river and will take you to a pedestrian bridge that you can walk across to the other side, and also will take you down close to the Millennium Bridge. But a good place to get out of the heat. 93 degrees today, 34 Celsius. Hot for September. I think this path here will take us to the pedestrian bridge, but you get a little look at a city park. Plenty of places to sit down, have a cool drink. Even got some swing sets, or not swing sets, but a swinging chair. And as I showed before, those stone pathways go down towards the old bridge that we showed a moment ago, and also just kind of run alongside the river. Here's some more stairs going down. Or if you wanted to go that direction, you could. But we're going to walk across the pedestrian bridge here and then maybe get a look at the Millennium Bridge. Here's our footpath bridge that we just came across. If you look back down, we are now on the other side of the Maracha River, and straight ahead, the Millennium Bridge, opened in 2005, has a span of almost 200 meters, about 600 feet, and has a pedestrian area as well as vehicle and bus traffic can go across. And a little cafe riverside bar. Not much shade down there though. All right, let's continue on here in Podgorica. We'll pick up any guidebook or read any online advertisement of things to see and do in Podgorica, and the Orthodox Temple of Christ's Resurrection is going to be near the top of that list. A very, very modern cathedral. Construction began in 1993, and it took about 20 years to complete, as it was officially opened in 2013. One of the interesting things, compared to other churches that you've seen, maybe in person or photos of, but look at the different types of stones that are used. On the bottom part, you see kind of like the rough textured stones, and then the higher up you go, the smoother stones that were used. Cute little beer there, about a 10-ounce beer, maybe 300 milliliters. Staro Pramen from Prague. Had to get out of the heat for a few minutes. More coming from Podgorica. Well, after a late afternoon refreshment there, we're back on the footpath, heading back in towards the city center. Getting close to dinner time. Been here for about a week in Montenegro. The heat has just been ridiculously warm. Fahrenheit wise, I mean, we've been in the 90s every day. That's mid 30s Celsius. And they say that is well above normal for late summer as we head into early fall. But it's just been a constant daily heat wave. Unlike the cool afternoons we had in Sweden and Poland, it's been quite warm here in Montenegro. Really would like to continue to explore a little bit more Northern Europe, but I had run out of days in the Schengen zone. And basically that is all of Europe now, with the exception of a handful of countries here in the Balkans and Turkey, and then like Ireland and the UK, but they're just really expensive to visit for any period of time. Montenegro is quite affordable still in that sense, because it's just not really been a huge tourist destination. A lot more local tourists from like Serbia and Albania. But that will change as people begin to discover it more and more. All right, we got another block and then a river, and then we'll be in the center. Well, this is Independence Square, the city center area of Podgorica. Different from many capitals in Europe. It's not surrounded by old buildings and giant churches or anything like that. Mainly coffee shops, smaller restaurants, and the requisite Hard Rock Cafe. Who wouldn't love a t-shirt from Hard Rock Cafe Podgorica? Also standing here is a monument, the Grand Duke Mirko Petrovic. Petrovic led the Montenegrin army back in the mid-1800s. From Independence Square. Now we'll shoot a little nighttime GoPro action here in Podgorica. Podgorica actually has a pretty solid nighttime vibe to it. This is the middle of the week. I have been down here on a Friday and a Saturday, and this place will be wall to wall with people up and down the promenade. This is just a little pedestrian zone here with cafes and pubs, several restaurants and things such as that. We're just a block or so off of the Independence Square. Grab a slice of pizza at the Cafe Pizzeria. Got the Munich German pub down here. Probably only about 25% of the crowd that you would see maybe on a weekend. But still a pretty interesting vibe. Here has summer gets ready to turn to autumn. And there's a couple of different streets that are pretty similar to this. But I think this is the main area that draws the majority of the locals and the tourists that come to Montenegro. They're relatively affordable. About 3 to 4 euros for a draft beer. You can have dinner for, I'd say let's call it anywhere between 10 to 20 euros, dollars. There's about a 10% difference between the euro and the dollar right now. 1 euro is worth about 90 cents US. But back down this direction, we'll take us back to the square. And the Hard Rock Cafe. Ooh, jump out of the way of the car. The Hard Rock Cafe is much busier tonight than it was earlier in the afternoon. And quite a few more folks out as the sun has dipped down. We're about 9 p.m. now. Sunset's about 7:45 p.m. But boy, the temperature has certainly cooled off from where we started this video earlier. And we're right back into the center of the city. Always like those things they throw up in the air and try to catch. There's the monument. We saw that earlier. And right back here to the fountain. Good evening from Podgorica. More to come. Oh, right before we climb into the Park Force Gorica, the large mountain park here in Podgorica, we have the St. George Church, which is right up these stairs. It's the oldest church in the country of Montenegro. Dates back over 1,000 years ago. Not a very large church, but it's been standing here for many, many generations. Well, opened in 1957, this national monument to the fallen soldiers of Montenegro during the Liberation War, 1941 to 1945. It's built out of white stone and has this path that runs up to the monument itself. Maybe you can see the years inscribed there, 1941, 1945. Get a look at the white stone. I'm not sure what's inside the gate there, but it does look like you can go to the top. You take the quick walk up the stairs, get on top of the monument. Below us, you saw, and kind of like the chamber inside the gate there was kind of the inscription of different names of the fighters that fought in that war. That inscription there, written in Cyrillic, says "Partisan Fighter." And you see the floral reef. Here in Podgorica. So the few times I walked through the Gorica Park here, I've always gone past the sign that says Mediterranean Garden. And I'm going to walk down through it today. Looks like the path goes down here a little ways. Basically what I read online is I guess it just has different plants that you maybe find in the Mediterranean countries, which of course we are in. Montenegro Podgorica itself is only about 20 miles, maybe 30 kilometers to the coast. And then if you go up north, you have Croatia, of course, that borders the sea. And then go directly west, not terribly far as the bird flies, you got the southern coast of Italy. Right below us is Albania. And across from Albania is Greece. So we'll go with that geography lesson and go explore the Mediterranean Garden. Nothing else that provides a little bit of shade here this afternoon. Well, as evening comes to Gorica Park, they got a nice little coffee stand slash cafe slash pub. I don't know if there's a restaurant in there or not, but it's just right in the middle of the park. And you also see you got some, it's like exercise equipment or ropes and different things that you can challenge yourself. Pretty impressive park here. Only just minutes walking up from the city center. And this actually spurs me back towards my apartment, although I'm going to make a little side trip, about a 22-minute walk to the grocery store and just grab a few necessities and head back and call it an afternoon. But good afternoon slash evening from Podgorica. More to come. Montenegro.